All right, y'all. It's been a minute. It's Robert.
And it's Tommy the Disciple. What's going on?
And we're back with another podcast episode. And if you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe. And literally, if we've helped you out in any way to really... Y'all see these nice shares? We got these nice shares because you were commenting, and subscribing, and sharing. Because, you know, that's how I can help pay my friends and build a different part of an empire. Because it's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep saying it, but once again, we're trying to get one new subscriber for every new video we have out. But enough of me and my jibba jabba and panhandling for subscribers.
Reviews, give us a review. Yeah,
exactly. Give us a comment.
That's funny.
T, it's been a minute. They hear me talk all the time.
For real.
Let's keep it brief.
Yes, sir.
What are you playing no games about?
Playing no games about. What has it been recently? Just honestly, man, locking in, living your purpose. That's literally what I've trying to be pursuing. Just locking in, pursuing my purpose, and trying to be clear about that.
Okay,
that's literally what it is.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Working hard. It's cold outside. Trying to stay warm. All these different things, but just trying to lock in.
You've been in the Batcave.
I have,
man. Traveling, man.
Yeah, I know. Work has got me traveling too, and everything. Honestly, all things that blessed, can't complain. Nothing crazy, but it has been busy. But nothing that's been overwhelming, to be honest. So
okay.
Your boy's blessed. Yeah.
Okay.
Can't complain.
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Me. You know what I play no games about? I found some new white people propaganda. And just like they dropped the weapons in the community, I found the next box of weapons they've dropped in our community.
What is it? I'm cracking up. That's hilarious. All right, we gotta see what this is. Oh shoot!
All right, let me hit you with this theory.
Right.
I learned this from a cat in Minnesota. Okay, So have you ever heard of the term YNs?
Yep.
I can say it, but you know what it means.
Yeah.
Young nigga.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what if I told you black people did not create the words YNs?
A white person did?
A white person did. And let me tell you why.
Okay, interesting.
The reason why they created YNs is for us to forget our history. Get this. Meaning, over time, right? When we look at this maybe like 20, 25 years into the future, right? We will forget that black people were lawyers, doctors, all these things, wear nice suits, be presentable, and will be replaced with the caricature of what people think what black people are by saying YNs. The YN energy is so crazy that everyone else is like YN.
Okay, yep.
Because I know there's some YNs right now that don't even know who W.D. Du Bois is.
Yeah, jeez. For sure.
It will help us. It will not help us. It will. People our age, we know our history. But it's the generation that don't know anything and then just go YN ski mask Drake.
Man. Jeez.
Now, what are your thoughts with that?
I think that's interesting. I definitely see how it's all... Maybe, not along the lines of the YNs, but I can definitely see how people are always trying to rewrite history and change the narrative.
Yes.
100%. So, I can 100% see. And I think it's all about education. You have to be we got to educate, not only ourselves, but the people after us. Because, come on, I'm hearing potentially, kids may not be able to write cursive or whatever, like all these different things. I'm like, I saw one time, this is crazy. This is not that crazy, but Lonzo Ball was talking about he didn't know who Nas was. I was like, come on, bro.
Look at that, man.
Educate yourself, bro. That's music, that's rap, whatever. I'm just saying that's little things like that where you talked about W.E.B. Du Bois. We're talking about, or Du Bois, sorry, and I'm talking about Lonzo Ball and Nas not knowing real hip hop and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, yo, what's going on? What is this?
It's, I'll just be honest. I think it should be a qualification that if you can't read,
No, you have to be able to read. Well, with resources available, I know there are definitely some resources available. We got to teach.
If you can't read a chapter of a Harry Potter book, you shouldn't be rapping. Not a page, a chapter.
Chapter is hilarious.
Not a page, a chapter.
Should we go lower and give him Cat in the Hat, or should we go Harry Potter?
Cat in the Hat. Also, another thing I was listening to. Once
Mm-hmm.
again, since I'm on this YN shit, and I know this is not going to happen. They were like, this one guy was like, in segregation time. Okay, there's this. You're not on Instagram, so there's this dude, right? Who's on Instagram, and he spent all of Black History Month telling white people that you should open up my door. If you don't, you're against like black. I'm gonna have to show you.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Like he's doing social experiments with on white people. So the stuff that white people do to black people, I'm like, did you pay for that? And he just does it to white people, and they're like,
oh, gotcha.
Can I touch your hair? And like.
Oh, stuff like that. Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, what are they saying in response?
Bro, they
like
are
crashing out, or are they
hella annoyed? He literally just told this one white lady. He was like, "Oh, you can't take your bag in the store. Like that's against store policy. Or I'm gonna call the police." And she's like, or he'll clutch his bag or his purse when white people walk by.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, interesting.
Bro, this shit is
I gotta see this. This is
I'm
interesting.
gonna have to show you.
This is cool.
But
it's funny.
Only reason why I said that is why I'm playing no games about it, because that shit is funny, because I definitely think over time, if we don't have like good content, because like I'll even say this and then we can get onto our topics. And this neuroscientist was saying this because I was listening to it on the Diary of a CEO, where it's kind of like short form content is really killing our brains. If the video is not more than 10 minutes, obviously I know we make short form content. I'm really trying to make solid 10-minute, because we have to have stuff to hold our attention. Where it's like people just think relationship or friend stuff or all this other stuff is so like cat in the hat, and it's very it's more convoluted than that. And if I just want to be a part of like preserving and having like, I don't want to say true history, but like true human connection, and that takes time and energy. And it's not gonna be a quick shot or a quick post at the gym. So that's why I did that, because that's why I'm playing the games about.
And I did see something in relation to that. I did see like nowadays we have I don't want to speak for her. I don't want to say we. I'm like, hopefully that's not me, but they were saying humans, we have the attention span of like a goldfish, where it's like 8 seconds or something like that. I was like, dang, I have to test myself. But I'm not gonna lie, there are times where if I'm on YouTube or whatever, or just whatever, I'm like, I can find myself getting irritated when something is like I'm like, okay, get to the point. But I'm like, that's not good. We should be able to focus, sit, relax, enjoy, be present.
And that's the part that I'm trying to get better at too, where it's like I can see myself for like literally fantasy basketball, because it's like 82 games so much. Like I get, even though pride and ego, because I want to win. I got so overwhelmed, and I was like, because I'm like scrolling the page, highlights. Yeah. And for me, I'm trying to take more notes of like, let me pause, because this shouldn't get me so frazzled. Right. Because I've been noticing that shit too.
Yeah, exactly.
Where like literally, I'm only on TikTok to post these clips, and then I just hop right and the fuck bounce off.
Yeah. I mean, that's for the most part. That's kind of what I mean. Obviously, social media is great things and everything, but we have to just be able to just control ourselves. And can we do it? It's all good in theory, right? You know what I mean? It's all good in theory.
Well, I think this is the perfect time for us to talk about protection. Not that type of protection. Now, our first topic today, and I got the perfect person to talk about with this, is protecting your peace. Protecting your peace is such a beautiful thing. I think it's an opportunity where I think sometimes as a human populace, we can overexert ourselves and we forget to take care of ourselves. And I think it's an important lesson. But I think we've reached a point in society right now where protecting your peace has become an excuse for you 100%. To grow and learn. And I think I want to start today's topic off by saying, do you think protecting our peace has gotten too out of control and it's lost its luster?
I mean, great point. I mean, I honestly would think, to a certain extent, yeah. Sometimes I do think it can be a cop out, because like we spoke about it earlier, and we discussed the video earlier, where it's like you're just like, for one, someone says there's one thing wrong to you, you just cut them off, like like one little bit of conflict, one little bit of just discomfort, you're like, I'm gonna protect my peace. See ya. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes it's that. I would love to do that, but you have to be able to go through conflict. I mean, you have to be able to go through some pressure. Pressure is a privilege. I saw someone say that. Pressure is a privilege, it's I mean to a certain point, right?
To a certain extent,
yeah. You know, don't get me wrong. To a certain extent, like that's how you grow. That's how you become someone of good character, of good judgment, all the kind of things. When you go through the things that sometimes can do disturb your peace, like literally. So I think there's a certain point. I think if it's something that's like very, very toxic, something that's very, very harmful, protect your peace, cut that off. You know what I mean? If it's something that's derailing you from a goal that you have, you know, cut it off. But if it's something where it's like, oh, at the slightest bit of discomfort, at the slightest bit of, you know, just like noise, you're ready to protect your peace and just like move away. That's when I do think it becomes a cop out for sure.
No, and
I love protecting my peace, trust me. But but sometimes it can be a cop out. I'll take accountability for that for sure. Yeah.
I've been this. I've been in a season of that, and I feel like I extend myself a lot to people, and I think it's even weird for me because it's like I have an element of people pleasing. I always like to say this: people pleasing is not bad.
Right, exactly.
People pleasing becomes bad when you remove yourself from the people pleasing. And I think for me, it's been different where I'm like, all right, I'm prioritizing Robert first, where it's kind of like I protect my peace in like a lot of different ways, right. Information, appearance, and like I feel that in this season of where I'm at in my life, where I've been trying to just, you know, preserve it, I can see where I can do better of like reaching out to friends, talking to friends. But if I'm being like super like honest, I've just seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot. It's just the cop out, and it's just like conflicts where I just want to break it down. Conflict is opportunity to grow in a relationship and take a risk, and protecting your peace. That's good in nature, but I think if I'm being honest, right? We come from a generation where we weren't allowed to protect our peace in the dawn and the age of like mental health. I think there's a lot of empowerment and strength. But if we're moving to the future, right? The future is I know when to protect my peace and I know when to risk my peace.
Right. That's a really good point. And is it worth it? And when is it worth it? You know what I mean? That's a very, very good point. Very, very good point. And I think it's, for some people, you almost have to, I mean, I'll be honest and transparent. Like, for some people, you do have to kind of push yourself to not just want to drop something. Yeah. Like, I think it can be easy for people to be like, oh, boom, avoid it.
Deuces.
Yeah, see you later. You know what I mean?
No more locked doors.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it takes somebody who is self-aware to be like, hey, like, this is a moment where I can press in and push in to be like, all right, like, this is hard. This is tough. At the moment, it's not peaceful, but I know it's going to come at the end of it. You know what I mean? I know it's gonna bring, you know, closeness in relationship or whatever. If someone's in the gym, you know, gains or whatever, like whatever, attach that concept to whatever it is that you're doing. Something at the end of it is gonna be.
You just said something that is very 1 + 1 = 2. We go to the gym. You go to the gym. You're
exactly. Discomfort, you're pushing, you're
okay with that.
Right, exactly, right, yeah.
Your career, you're okay with that.
Right,
but as soon as you go home to your partner, spouse, your friend, and as soon as they say, I have this thought, this opinion, it's like, oh,
I know,
it's over with. This is impossible.
And it's the truth. I mean, it's true. And I think it just comes from like, I think we have to learn ourselves, right? We just have to learn ourselves. We have to be exposed to what the other side is and going through that. Maybe some people have been exposed to like, oh, like, well, we can actually go through this. And another thing is like, okay, is this something you want to work towards and work for and all that kind of stuff? And in this day and age, there's so many different options, so many different things to kind of do, so many different options. It's like, okay, like I can just protect my peace, cut this thing off, go to the next thing. That I think that aids in people being able to protect their peace, but also at the same time, protect your peace. Like if something really is bringing you discomfort, so if something really is, just like really just messing up your spirit, please protect yourself. Like by all means, you know, do so. But I just think it comes with just being real with yourself. Real with yourself. And I think that's the biggest thing we have to do.
Yeah, and I just want to at least make sure that we're saying this. We're not talking about domestic violence. We're not talking about verbal abuse.
Right.
Like, we're not. That's not. I'm talking about your partner, your friend.
Right. Yeah.
They did something, and you literally you're like, you gotta say something. You gotta take the risk.
Yeah.
I literally have been. I've learned this where our prefrontal cortex, like the thing that part, like our conscious mind, we're fine. Like your motivation and all that stuff comes from that. But the stronger, deeper portions of your motivation comes from your values, and your values comes from your subconscious. Meaning, if I'm telling you right now, don't think of Marshawn Lynch right now.
What do you think of Beast Mode? Marshawn Lynch. Yeah,
you're thinking
exactly,
of Marshawn
right.
Lynch. So if you have that internal thought that this will never work, and you have that in your conscious and your subconscious,
it's hard.
You're giving yourself no opportunity for it to fucking work.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
So the discernment of knowing when to protect your peace is actually knowing yourself. And I would say for me, if I had a challenge for even myself to like get better with, is like, because information is power in the world.
Right,
and I feel like I like to control the information people know about me, whether it's podcasts, from personal life. And I think for me, I think the power is, even if they know, let them.
Right.
Even if that information is going to allow them to maybe hit you with a body blow or something, like let them. Because that version of me protecting my peace is actually like hampering me from growing, because like it's okay, because so many people are going to have a narrative about you, but you get to finish the story.
Right. Jeez. Gotta say that again. Say that. Dang. Bars.
So many people have a narrative about you, but you ultimately get to finish your story.
Right.
And are you going to finish the story under duress while they're leaning over you? No, you finish the story of your own volition.
Yeah, the way you want. That's beautiful. That's so true. I love that. Literally, that was a good way to kind of wrap it up.
There we go. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Is there any other thing? But I'm like, no, that's. Yeah.
So at this time, we'll go into a commercial break, and me and T will be right back.
Yo.
Peace.
As you may know, I'm Arthur Dixon, and I created for you a 10 recipe cookbook to help you cook vegan food for your friends. It's 10 simple recipes from desserts, meals, even appetizers that you can incorporate into your everyday meals. There's nothing hard about this recipe book. Everything in here is very simple, very easy. My cookbook can be found on my Facebook page at Arthur Dixon, my Instagram page at Brace Yourself Oregon, and on the Play No Games podcast page in the bio. Make sure you go check it out. Thank you very much. Peace. You didn't see none of that, okay?
We're back.
Yo.
Hopefully, once again, you guys are enjoying this. Like, comment, subscribe. Help me get 1,000 subscribers this year. So we can start getting more passive good revenue, so we can add more dope things in the room. I think for today, our last part I want to talk about is, I'm gonna, as a dude, this is tough. As a dude, this is tough, sharing. And if I'm being transparent and want to put out the content that I want 20 years from now for me to be proud of, is like knowing when to share and not when to share. Oversharing versus knowing when to share. And I think, I'm gonna be honest with you, I struggle with that. And I think sharing has its place in the world and society. And I think, if I'm being honest with you, men, we really suck at it because we have these like complexes. So I think to start today's topic is, when and how should we share? Like, when do you know when it's a good time to share? When do you know you should probably keep it to yourself?
It's a good question. I think you can kind of tell based on like where the conversation is going. Like if you are having a conversation with somebody, right, and then you know there's some things in your mind, in your mind, it's like, okay, this kind of seems like a good opportunity to good time to share it. You gotta just share it, and if there's a little bit of like fear,
ooh, yeah.
If you know, at least I can only speak for like maybe myself, right? I'm not gonna give everyone advice. I can only speak for like myself. It's like, oh, like there's a little bit of like some hesitation, but like, you know, deep down, like this is probably a good thing to do. I think that feeling is when you should like share those things. And also, maybe it's not even a deep conversation. Maybe it's just something where you're having a good time with somebody and you just have a shared experience. You're like, oh yeah, this happened to me, so and so, boom. But I guess we're talking about it in a moment of like vulnerability and transparency and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. And I vibe with you. I vibe with you.
Mm-hmm.
But in those moments when that thought comes up,
right,
because I'm gonna be a viewer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be a viewer.
Right, yeah.
It's so hard to just know when, because I'm not trying to say everyone's an oversharer or not, but it's like when you share, it's an opportunity for rejection.
Right.
And when you're going through things at a certain time, it's just I don't have time for that.
Right.
And I know me, I rationalize, and I'm working on a intellectualization video for all my intellects, because we can rationalize a lot of different things. Where for me, I know, I'm not going to tell this person this because I haven't talked to them. They said this before. I'm anticipating. I know their bandwidth.
Right.
So why would I give them something? So of course I'm not.
Yeah.
It's like the risk of being rejected when you know you need something, and like you rationalize or intellectualize the point where the probability of this getting done is 0. So no. And
I think I'll have to give you credit for this, as I think you said this a while ago, but I think it's a muscle. Like it's the vulnerability muscle. I think you might have mentioned something along the extent of that like a long time ago. But like it's a muscle. Like it's not and again, I'm preaching to the choir, but it's a muscle that you have to grow. Like you work out, you go to the gym, you work it out, boom, boom, boom. In scenarios where there's opportunity for you to share, it's a muscle. Sometimes you're gonna do it, it's gonna bomb. Sometimes you're gonna do it and it's gonna be good. Sometimes you're not gonna do it and you're gonna be like, oh man, I probably should have shared this. But then I think the more scenarios you find yourself in, you start to figure out and you start to build that like intelligence and knowledge of like when is the right time to share whatever it is that you're wanting to share and stuff.
Yes, I do agree with that. But yet again, I would say this. I am one of the luckiest guys in the world because I have a guys group where we've learned that from our past travels, current travels. And as a therapist, sometimes I run into people where that isn't the luxury. We're like, just what you said, that's so simple.
Right. Yeah.
But when you've been burned so many times, it's like,
it's true.
Why would I try this? And this is the 99th time.
And but the thing is, like again, this is me probably just speaking from my own like ignorance. It's like, it just takes the 100th time. Like it's like that's my my ignorant, non-expert point of view. But it's like, or it probably takes someone else to come in, and it just takes maybe someone else to come in and show you that, hey, this is a safe place. And even within that, someone's probably experienced that where they felt somebody cultivated a safe space, they betrayed that safe space, they rejected it, boom. But it's like, you gotta just keep going. I remember a friend of mine back in college told me about a book, and the book was called Relationships, and at the bottom of it, like the subheading was like, a mess worth making. Ooh. And it's like, if you really think about it like that, it sucks and it's hard, but that is kind of the mindset that happens in a romantic relationship, in a friendship relationship, in a co-working relationship. It sometimes is messy. It sometimes is illogical, like you mentioned earlier, or we mentioned earlier. Yeah, before the podcast, we were talking about that. But it can sometimes be illogical, and I think you have to look. What is the possibility? What do I truly want? What is on the other side of this? And are you willing to do something to get there? Because I think you are ultimately in control. Somebody can throw the rod, reel you in and everything, but it's up to you to kind of catch it and kind of decide, hey, do I want to take the bait and keep going and stuff? So
what Tommy's talking about, I'm looking at y'all motherfuckers right now. My own couples therapist put me on this game, and she's right. Love is illogical. That's what she told me. But this rest of the shit, I'm just gassing. It doesn't make sense to be in love with someone when you know eventually it's going to end. A good relationship should end in death. Because on that person's deathbed, they should say, you made my life better. Like, that's like the ultimate.
Are you talking friendships, relationship? What kind of relationship
all that.
Are you talking about? Everything?
Everything.
Gotcha.
Because it's illogical, because it's a love story that will ultimately end. So for all the people, like you're saying, like taking that risk, trying, we have the fact. It's 50%. You get married or you get a friendship, it's gonna end.
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
And I want to bring in faith. There's so many times where you shouldn't trust someone, or God tells you not this, and like it's like the belief. Like we can have all the steps. You can learn as a therapist. You can tell your clients all the things.
Yeah.
But the aspect where therapy hits a wall is like sometimes you have to have the blind faith. Right. The blind faith of like trying something, even if the numbers aren't in your favor.
The odds are against you. Yeah. And it's the truth. And like what you go for is like hope, right? That's kind of what you mentioned with the person earlier in the scenario. He said, what if somebody has gotten burned 99 times? It's like, okay, I've been burned 98 times. I recover, I rest, I find the strength to go again the 99th time. It's hard. I'm not going to sit here and be like, it's not hard. It's difficult. Yeah. It's going to take time for you to find that strength. It's going to take community. It's going to take whatever it is that it's needed, but it's going to take hope. It's going to take the faith, like you mentioned, to find the will and the desire to do it again.
When we look at history, and this is my final point on this. Yes, bullets hurt. Yes, but when a government wants to take away the hope from the people, that should tell you we're doing something right. When they pick on certain figures, right, they are getting people to believe in something bigger than themselves. Hope is dangerous.
Hope, yeah, true.
Hope is dangerous.
Hope is dangerous. Hope is powerful.
And if you have it, great power comes great responsibility. I will always say that.
Right.
Because,
Spider-Man.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hero.
Because when you lose that hope, that's when you get broken. And when you're broken, you make broken decisions.
I mean, even, again, I know we're on this faith talk, but I mean, that reminds me of like a Bible verse.
Please.
It's like, hope deferred makes the heart sick. It's like when you're constantly hoping for something and it constantly gets deferred, it makes you sick. You're constantly just like annoyed, or like you're depressed, or you're down, or you're feel defeated because you have hope for something and it's being deferred, or it's being, whatever, thwarted, whatever the right word I'm trying to think of is. And that, when that keeps happening, when rejection keeps happening, it makes you feel defenseless and defeated.
I know I said this was my last point, but I'm going to break that scripture down. Yeah. Deferred, right? Deferred hope versus no hope. Two different things.
Very much so.
And that's what we fucking talking about.
Right.
Deferred versus none at all. Right. When you have none at all.
Right.
I'm going to say it. You're living a gluttonous life. A gluttony filled version of life. There are so many things to have hope for. When you wake up, that's a new day. That's hopeful.
Right.
That means you have another opportunity.
Right.
And I'm even saying this for myself because I've been in my own little depression scape trying to manage stuff. Deferred hope is better than no hope.
Right. Agreed. It's
coming.
Yeah.
Because we gotta believe it's coming.
Yeah. It's a tough place to be in, to have no hope. Right. Again, I mean, empathize with everyone who's out there who's probably in that scenario. It's a tough place to be in. It really is a tough place to be in, but it's like you got to keep the faith, find something, some ounce to hold on to, like literally keep the faith. You're not alone. This is just turning into some kind of message, but you're not alone. But for real, there are people around you and everything who generally want to hear what it is that you want to share. And I think once people know that, they are validated, they are cared for, I think that also, it just takes like that one instance, that one feather for it to happen, for then the domino effect to really fall into place and stuff. So, yeah.
Very true. And if you're listening to the show, you're cared for because we get on here and we try to make a good product. So hopefully you laugh, but you also learn something, and you learn from our stories as we grow, as continue. Men and just people, whomever you are, because at the end of the day, you got to build a life worth living, and that's what Play No Games is about, because you got to stop playing games about yourself, man.
Facts. You couldn't have said that any better. Lock in, everyone.
Oh, lock in. Hit that subscribe button.
Lock in.
And this has been another episode, and we out.
Deuces.